Have you ever had one of those days where showing up just feels impossible? Where the voice just says, just cancel. Truth be told, I almost did that today, and here's why. Welcome to Talking with Teri. I am your host, Teri Cardula, and thank you for joining in for the Entrepreneurial Girlfriend Hour, along with our co-creators today. Woo! We are Colorado's first transformational talk show where we activate, elevate, and transform. So to be fair, I wanted to cancel tonight, and I had tested several times. It's like, you know what, I'm going to cancel. A couple things, right? I feel like we all have excuses, right? And in the past, we've been sold out every show, and we've been overly sold out. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I had cancellation after cancellation. We had 9 cancellations today. And I was like, WTF, what's going on? And I was like, you know what? I'm not really feeling it, so I'm going to cancel. So whenever I make a choice in my business, I always test it. So I tested it early this morning, and I do a blind test, and I put down cancel or keep. And I got keep. So I was like, all right. So then I got here. And then we had more cancellations, and then my volunteer canceled, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to cancel. So then I was like, I am committed to canceling. So I reworked the question. So I said, you know what, I'm going to push everyone to the 28th, which is our next show, or we're going to just keep and go with the few that are here. And I tested it, and they said, just keep and go with the few that are here. And I'm like, but I want to cancel. Right? So then I was like, all right, I set it down and I tested again. And it said, keep again. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm just going to go with it, right? And then it was like people showed up. I was like unexpected guests that came in, right? And the reason why I wanted to cancel it was I didn't feel like it because yesterday I just went through something it's like the unseen challenges, right? We were always walking around and we had these unseen challenges, right? And I was like, I just want to cancel. I want to be in my funk by myself. And people know me. They're like, oh my gosh, you're so positive. You're so happy. And I was like, but I'm in my funk, right? And so last night I went and I started walking around my neighborhood and I was crying. I was mad, I was yelling, I was sad. I felt all the feels. And I said, how often are we going around in the unseen challenges? And what is being asked of me is my word of the year is trust, right? And I realized that I am on this trapeze. How many of you have been on a trapeze? If you have not, I'm just going to say it is one of the adventures that you should do once in your life. It is top 5. Probably my top 2 adventure adrenaline rushes, okay? So when you go onto this trapeze, you literally have to climb up this little rung ladder, okay? And it's this wide. So you have to 1 foot after, like this. You're climbing up. And you feel like you're climbing up forever, okay? And I'm a bit scared of heights. There's 2 fears in life, right? The sensation of falling and the sound of loud noises, right? Technically, heights is one of those fears. That's what I put it in, right? Anyways, but I've always challenged myself to overcome those fears, right? So I get up there and you have to take this giant step off into this platform. And this platform is 2x4, okay? It doesn't feel very safe, okay? But because of my incredible height, which I'm 5'2" in real life, I am too short. So they have to give me a booster. Okay, so they put another device above the platform and create a little booster, okay, for the short people, okay? And there's another foot. You have to step up on this other foot, which is jankier than the other platform, okay? So as you're on this platform, they put this harness on you, and this harness creates a little tail, okay? So on the platform, I know, right?
A visual.
You're standing. Now I'm up above a booster platform, okay? And you have to lean out, okay, from the platform. And the guys, I got your tail. He's literally holding your tail, okay? So he's holding your tail and you gotta lean forward. and you gotta lean forward more. So you're like leaning forward like this, more, okay? It's so unnatural because you're looking down like this isn't normal, this isn't natural, right? So then then they do these 3 huts, okay? The first hut, the bar is swinging to you, and you have to extend your arms now over, even further over, okay? And then you have to grab this flying bar, okay? You grab the bar, okay? And then the second hut that they do, you then have to flip your legs over the bar, okay? So now your legs are hanging by the bar like this. And now you're swinging back. And then the third hut, you let go. And then you hope that the other person, okay, is gonna catch you. And I'm pretty certain I closed my eyes because I was like, oh.
You're backwards?
You fly out forwards, right?
You fly.
You fly out, and then the other person is flying out this way. So it's like this, right? Like the trapeze, like in the circus, right?
You said you put your legs over the bar.
So your legs are over the bar, and then you're like this, and then your hands go out. And then
she's upside down.
You're hanging upside down by your knees, and then you're flinging yourself forward, right?
Yes, okay.
And then you're going and you're catching the guy, and then he catches you like.
Net or no net?
There's a net,
Okay.
but it's far down.
Net,
It's far down.
Yeah,
okay,
it
it's
is.
far down. And I pretty much, I think I spaced out because I was so excited and delighted that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm flying. He caught me, right? And then you got lower down, right? The reason why I share this story is because I know it's terrifying, right? It is terrifying.
It is.
Like, but what I'm being asked to do is let go of the platform. And the platform is the safety of the platform, right? Like, even if it's sketchy, okay? it's something. It's something stable. And so I think that a lot of us are going through these unseen challenges, whether we're letting go of a part of ourselves. And so I'm being asked to level up in a way that I don't know what the next step is. I don't know what the next path is. And it's scary because for you, Deb, like you let go of your identity of your business, right? And who you are, right? You're going to lose a part of your identity as being a single person in this world because you are birthing a baby. I hope that's public knowledge now.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
My mom announced
Just kidding. I'm just okay. But but there's like this transitions, right? That we're going through. You're in a transition. I'm not sure about where you're at right now, but it's like these transitions that we're in. And so as I was walking around last night, I was texting myself, but I want to show you some of the insights that I had. So like the unseen challenge, right? That going through things that are unseen to others, and yet we are still expected to live our lives as though we're whole, as though we're complete, as though we're like, we know what we're doing, right? And so I don't know if you've ever seen those memes, right? Some of those memes that came to me last night was like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Who is done being stronger? I'm like, I'm just tired of being stronger. Like, just give me something easy. Seriously, can you just lob one to me? Come on, just please. Or it says, take the high road. Figure it out. Suck it up, buttercup. Keep calm and carry on. That's a good one, right? Or like my favorite one is, you're never given more than you can handle.
Yeah.
I'm like, seriously? I know I'm a badass, but do I have to be like tested? Do I have to be given more than what I think I can handle, right? But my personal favorite one is, and I do this while rocking, and that is, this is going to make great content. This is going to make great content. I just know it one day when I get through it, it's going to make great content. I'm like, why am I worried about making freaking great content? Seriously. Anywho, many tears later, much anger, and my question was, why? Why? And I remember as a therapist, I would get the question all the time, why? Why me? And I would always, with working with clients, where they came in with much trauma, so much trauma, and that was always the question. And I always had to figure out, okay, that is the question that everyone asks, right? Like, how do you frame this? How do you give context for this? Because why is that, right? And so through my walk last night, I just realized it's hard to show up when you're in it, and you're not in that place of happiness and joy and excitement and love and joy and gratitude and all the things, right? And it's like, how do you hold that space of gratitude while you're going through it, right? And so I know there's a lot that's happening, a lot of shedding that's happening, a lot of the quest of asking us to leave behind a part of us that we knew, and of leaving behind a part of us that I so clung to, who I am as my identity. And it really came to me last night was like, it was about my identity. It's about my identity. How many of you can relate to this? I know that you're shouting head. Do you want to add to this? Anything that you want to add? And if so, grab that.
I don't know what to add, but yeah, I'm 100% with you trying to reclaim my identity.
And for me, it was like, not only that piece, but this attachment that I have to it. And I thought for a long time that I was like, you know what? I'm good. If this goes away, I'm good. But I realized it's the attachment that I have to this part of me. And I'm not ready to let go of it. Anyone else can relate? And yet I feel like I'm being forced to let go of it.
How are you being forced?
Good question. And the best way I can describe it is, and LaVonda Lynn, who some of you met last time, was here. And we had this great conversation, and she said, there's all these faucets that were around me, and this faucets of abundance was just flowing, right? When I was in the flow, things were just flowing. But someone, because I feel like God has come and turned off the faucets. And I was like, oh, I love that. So I'm giving her credit for that metaphor there. But I was like, what is it? Because I'm like, everything that I've always done has been this, and I've known my path for a long time. And now I'm like, okay, I'm going into this unknown zone. And I know that a lot of people are in this place of the trusting. How am I going to make it all work? Having patience for the process, and yet at the same time, we have bills to pay. We have responsibilities. We have children. We have colleges to pay for. Whatever it is, in whatever stage and phase that you're in your life, we have all these responsibilities that we have. And so, like, how do we bless and release this old version? So what comes up for folks as we unpack this here? Anyone want to dive in?
For me, it's like reinventing myself without having a definition of what that's supposed to look like.
Yes.
Because I already have a mental picture. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing this. Who says I'm supposed to be doing that?
Yes.
What are you talking about? That's kind of reinventing the past. But I want to step into something different, future.
Yes.
When am I going to do that? How am I going to do that? And I go, okay, let it unfold naturally.
Yes.
Stop trying to, it has to be something. Because sometimes I'll go into that conversation of going, but what?
Yes.
How come I'm not like I was before? When I'd get up, go to work, get dressed, go to work, leave the house, whatever, I had a purpose. I knew where I was going. I knew what I was doing. Corporate 101. And then coming home and all that. And now I get up and I go, okay, what's today going to look like?
Yeah.
And it's blank. And I get to invent it, which is great. But it's in the moment.
Yeah.
Rather than having this big grandiose future, what am I going to do? Should I take up painting? Should I? All these different things come up. And I go, okay, stop trying to make that your identity.
Yes.
Just be in the moment. Be okay with it. If you sat down and watched TV for an hour and a half, you're okay.
Yeah. I was telling them offline my morning this morning. I was like, oh, we're just going to do this. And then I was like, okay, we're doing this. And I was like, okay, I took a nap. I was like, okay, we're doing it differently. And I've talked about this a lot, about just like this, but you're right, reinventing what the piece is. And I think because for myself, I've always known the next step. I've always known the next path. And now what is happening is like, it's not coming the way it used to come.
Yes.
Does that make sense? So just holding the space and place of the unknown zone in a different way than it had before. You know what I'm saying? I love change. I do change. But this change feels differently. It feels different to me.
I think I'm going through the opposite right now, actually. Because usually I'm like thinking about all the things.
Yeah.
And I think this is, and we've talked about this too, this is like the most at peace I've ever been, I think, in my entire life.
Awesome.
And it's really beautiful because I was talking to Alexa, and just when I first told her I was pregnant, and she was telling me like it is so important not to be stressed. You don't need to be stressed, and I'm not like a stress ball, but I think about all the things. I'm nonstop. That's like just how we are, and I think just like these past few months, for some reason, nothing super stresses me out. Even things that usually do. And there's a lot of unknown. My basement flooded a few weeks ago. And I was like, it's all going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's all going to, and guess what? It all was. Like,
Yeah.
it's all worked out. Everything's like working out beautifully. And I know you said your word is trust.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a word of the year, but I feel like that has been my word because I feel, not even like me, like
Actively,
working
yeah.
actively
Yeah.
trying to trust, but I was not trying to get pregnant. Like, this was like very much an accident. And it's worked out in the grand scheme of things of, I'm so grateful. And the pregnancy's just been so wonderful. And everything that I thought would be scary about pregnancy has been so great. And so I'm kind of the opposite where I should be like really terrified. I'm like going to have to go through all these things and I have so many things to buy and I don't know how I'm going to buy them. And like my mom does not live here. And so I have to figure out how to figure things out. And I'm really not worried about it.
Yeah.
I'm just like am very much trusting that it's all
Yeah.
going to be good. But the other
And
thing,
what a great mentor, because I know your story was very different,
Yeah.
right? And what a cool mentorship.
but it's good to remember we're all going through different phases because
Yeah.
like one day I'm going to be done having kids and it's okay. I need to reevaluate. What do I need to be doing? My day's going to look different now.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm grateful for being here, just like being with y'all in a different phase of life of like, for now I'm at peace, but it's
Yeah.
okay. One day I'm not going to be at peace. And then after that, I'll find peace again.
Yeah,
It's going to
yeah,
be up and down.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah.
To both of your guys' points, all of the points, is I'm in a phase where there was so much unknown and what was next, and I didn't know what was next, and really the letting it go and knowing that it'll show itself to me, because I am very much a planner, very controlling, very type A, and I like to be constantly progressing, and to feel complacent in my growth is a very hard place for me to be in, but also just trying to remember that was probably a part of it. I needed to slow down and be present.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have seen what was next for me if I didn't just trust that it was going to present itself to me when the time was ready. So much a mixture of all of it is the being okay with it, the being the scared because there's transitions and this is nerve-wracking and I don't like this, but knowing, for me, I always remind myself I've survived worse. You
Yeah,
know my story.
yeah, yeah.
I have survived worse.
Yeah.
Not knowing what today's going to look like,
Yeah.
or being hard on myself because there's a transition and I don't know how I'm going to pay tomorrow's bills or whatever it might be. I've totally survived worse than that, so I'm going to be fine. And just a constant reminder, which is very hard for a very controlling personality, to just let it go. And whether it's the universe or it's God, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be fine because I always have been and I always will be. So I am trusting that those moments of uncertainty are just meant to be.
Yeah.
I hate being in love, but I just trust that it's meant to be. They're not ready for what's to come yet. And I need to calm down, stop being so controlling or desperate or scarcity mindset, and just need to pause and enjoy the peace. Because how often do we get a 6-week break?
Yeah.
And instead of enjoying it and going, I get to be present with everybody right now and it'll work itself out, it's scared. It's scary. How am I going to pay the bills tomorrow? But aren't they blessings in some ways?
Yeah.
It's hard to feel,
Yeah.
I'm sure right now. I'm like, geez, I wish I had 6 weeks off, but if I was unemployed, I probably would not feel that way.
Yeah.
But it's just trusting that it's all going to be okay because we've survived worse. And that's where I'm at right now, is that's very much the era I've been in this year. It's been wonderful.
Yeah. Nice. Do you want to share anything?
All right.
Yeah, so the message that I got was like coming from the forest from above, the trees, like analyzing the situation from a different perspective, right? Because I think sometimes we get so wrapped up into how things look and are currently being displayed for us. And if we can get to that higher point and look at it from a different perspective, getting that newer perspective on it changes things, right? And so last night when I was walking around, I was getting that new perspective of, okay, here we are. This is what's happening. And because I found myself getting kind of tangled into the thorny bushes, right? And not knowing what the next phase is. And for me, like, again, the identity piece was a big one for letting go of what I thought, who I was and what I was doing, and now opening the doors to this new version of myself that hasn't yet been birthed in this new way of being. Which again, it's uncertainty, right? And it's been interesting. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to cancel tonight. I was like, gosh, I'm in the muck. I'm in the stuff. I'm in the cocoon of the rebirthing, right? And not knowing what that next piece looks like. And I have a date in mind that I got a download from. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to trust in the process and let this unfold. And I was like, why not bring this conversation to here? Why not have this conversation? Because I know I'm not the only one here having this.
We're in the muck with you.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
we're all in the muck.
Well, and it's interesting because I talk to a lot of people, and my daughter's always so funny because I'll get up and go somewhere. Like the other day, I was at a game with her, and I get up and I go to grab some drinks, and I come back, and I was like, oh, blah blah blah, and blah blah blah, and blah blah blah. And I'm talking, she's like, how do you know all this information? I'm like, I was talking to this person, and I'm talking to this person, and this person. And she's like, and I'm constantly talking to people. And this energy that's happening on this planet right now is in this really powerful transformational time of it is a rebirthing process that is forcing us all to look at what's not serving, and it's okay, I'm giving you permission to go forward without knowing, and it's scary as hell. It's scary as hell. And so I can relate to you, and I can relate to anyone who's going through this. Because one of the other messages that I got was just being at this place of peace, because taking action now can backfire on us because we're like, what are we doing? And so just holding the space, trusting the process, and just waiting until you're guided to change. And I know change is happening, and I'm just going to trust in whatever that is. And I'm a big believer that everything we ever need is always given to us in the time. And it might come in the 11th hour, but it was always given. So one of the things that I was doing the other day, and I do this more for validation, so if you want to play along, you're welcome to. Actually, we're going to take a quick break.
Friends don't let friends shop for health insurance alone, especially online with a bottle of wine. Skip the spammy calls, endless emails, confusing options. We've got you covered, literally. I'm Deb Salmons with Imagine Choice Customized Health Solutions. No more guesswork. We shop for best plans for you with lower rates the healthier you are. We personalize your plans with confidential information, and it's hassle-free. Let us take the stress off your plate so you can focus on what matters most. Imagine Choice, health insurance with a human touch.
So one of the things that I will do, just for validation, I'll pull a card. And I was introduced to this deck of cards. It's called the Shaman's Dream. And I always am just baffled by the way it speaks to you. The way it speaks, the way it's so perfect. So the law of probability says you shouldn't be getting the same card all the time. But I literally have gotten this card every single 3 or 4 times this week. And it's called Dancing on One Foot, and it's like this balancing act. And so just to highlight what it says, you're called to find a new balance. Just as a dancer moves gracefully into each pose, no matter how balanced a step might seem, you must bring equanimity to the situation before, no matter how thorny or difficult the situation appears. So I just imagine that this dancer, you're always in this beautiful dance, but you're also, as she's lifting a leg and finding a new balance and using your core, right? And I just think about that core strength of who you are, what you're here to do, your purpose, your power, your potency, all of that. And it says you will never ever be fully prepared for all the challenges in your life, but you can be ready for a new invitation that's showing up for you. And I thought that was really beautiful. It says life has provided you with everything you need to accomplish. And life has provided you with everything you need to accomplish and fulfill your mission. And what I loved about it says is do not contract, right? When you're in this place of flow, right? And I have a dance specialist here, right? Mm-hmm. When you're in that flow, when you're pulling in, you're constricting and contracting, you'll fall, right? You don't have that balance. And so when you're putting out your arms, and so yesterday I was walking around, and I'm pretty certain my neighbors think I'm crazy. And I was like, what would it feel like just putting my arms out and just balancing, right? And this balancing act. And whether you're in this time of transition or this time of transformation, and that's what I kept getting is this transformation of leaving the old, like the caterpillar analogy, right? Like the caterpillar, which was so funny because the other day I was out meditating, and there was a caterpillar right down by my feet. And I was like, and it wasn't there when I started. And I looked down and I was like, oh, look at that, the little visitor. So anyway, So I'm going to pass these around for folks. If you want to pull one, you're welcome to. Just shuffle it. And then the book is in there too. So I'll have you read afterwards. We'll read them, what the meaning is. So I'll just have everyone pass one and take one if you want. Yeah. So then I was like, then I had 3 words because it was so traumatic. I was like, unstoppable, never again. Like, if anyone ever says, my word of the year is going to be unstoppable, I'd pick another.
Meant to be stopped.
I would pick another. Pick another one that just, I've been down that road, not good. But so I had peace, love, and joy because I was like, peace,
Yeah.
Joy.
That's great. There's so many jokes we can make about this song. You said don't go down that road.
Yeah.
All roads have stop signs.
I know, that's true. That's true. And that one does. That one does. So if you ever this is a PSA. If anyone ever says it's going to be unstoppable, like say, no, please choose another. Please choose another. Let me just save you.
Stop you right there.
I'm going to stop you right there. Yeah. Yeah, frick. What the hell?
I know. It's so funny.
Dang it.
All right.
What comes up for you as you read that?
There are so many little nuggets in there,
Yeah.
things that were flowing in.
Let's have you come up here. Let's have a
Okay.
conversation up here. Yeah.
So what was coming to me in reading the card, a message from a friend, right?
Yeah.
And literally I just saw her this morning. And she is a beautiful reminder to me of how just in being me,
Yeah.
there's power in that, and that I am influencing other people.
Yeah.
And the reference is with regards to, while it's a past life, part of the letting go of my identity of owning a fitness studio was, as I had mentioned, I loved teaching classes and I am very good at it.
Yeah.
And the reason people came to my studio was more for the community that I built, the
Yeah.
empowering of themselves, feeling great in their own skin. And that is a superpower that doesn't go away.
Yeah.
And I must execute it.
Yeah.
So it's creating the space to be that person and
Yeah.
execute that in the world.
So you no longer have the studio.
Correct.
But you're reinventing into what now?
Yeah, so great question. I no longer have the studio. Right after I closed the studio, I am also slowly disconnecting from blaming COVID. I'm sure there are other reasons why I had to close, but I will say it was during that time. So anyway, I, in that moment, had started a company that I was just doing online and I wasn't sure what it was really going to be.
Yeah.
And then a friend asked me to work for her part-time, and then I was like, okay, great. And I'm not going to lie, it was coming from a mindset of lack.
Yeah.
I wasn't making that much money.
Yeah.
Not that I necessarily was with the studio yet either, but I was like, I know this isn't what I'm going to do forever, but I'll just do this now.
So
then
that was the fillers that you were talking about.
so that's kind of the
Yeah.
filler. And then that led to actually a full-time job, doing a little bit more of what I love in terms of empowering people but it wasn't my company.
So can I ask you this?
Yes.
Because I think that you were talking about the fillers.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was like a, not necessarily a great thing. But can I ask you
Please.
and challenge you to say, like, maybe that filler was there because the other opportunity wasn't there yet?
Yeah.
Did the filler create the space for the next to come?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and period, and exclamation mark.
Yes, okay.
And in the moment, not seeing that. That's where
Yeah.
that awareness comes in that we were
Yeah.
talking about. And just grateful to be able to see how necessary the fillers were.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, to be sitting here today. It took me
Yeah.
months to get here.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
This is a true fact.
Yeah, it took me months to get here because I had a job and
Yeah.
there was no way and blah, 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 but I really wanted to go. So I was planning on taking a half day
Yeah.
so I could come here today. I booked this months ago.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you know it, I have the whole day available.
I love it when it works out. But I think this is so important because I think the identity of you as being a business owner, and let's be fair, like COVID took out a lot of businesses, and there are still ramifications of COVID that are impacting businesses left and right. Like every time my business closes, I have this, and whether it's a big corporate America business or whatever it is, I have to go and chat GPT it and say, I have to understand the why, right? And I just feel for the owner, the staff, the employees, because whether it was by their choice or not, there's such an identity that is being flipped or taken away, and I know that it serves a purpose. I trust in that it serves a purpose, and I trust that change is a good thing, and I trust that it's happening for all of us. But I just like to take a moment and just be like, oh my gosh, I just send love. I send love to those folks that are going that, because I too went through a very similar experience a couple years ago where my identity was being questioned at that time, and it's, oh my goodness, like, I don't know, what else can you share about that? Because I think a lot of folks and the folks that are joining us online can relate to this.
Yeah, I thought it was my dream.
Yeah.
I had a 25-year career in human resources. I would teach fitness classes part-time. And when I came upon a brand that just really resonated with me, I knew in that moment everything that I was doing going forward was to be able to open this studio.
Yeah.
And worked in HR up until the end, until it was like, okay, no, flip the switch. And it took 3 years from the time I started looking for a space to actually open, and the search took longer than the time that I was actually in business. But I was sure in that moment that that's where I was going to open multiple locations. I was going to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Now I can see that, yes, that is partly what my destination is, but not exactly in that way.
Yeah.
And I could see the push energy I was from which I was coming, but I can see it now.
Did you feel like you had push energy, or did you feel like it was an allowance?
Not in the moment.
Okay.
In the moment, I felt, I didn't know. This is just what, I'm open in business.
When it's being put into place, I'm always questioning. Okay, so I truly believe that when it's ready, the opportunity, the possibility will be shown. One of the things that I've had a hard time wrapping my head around is, okay, if your dream is to do this, then why does it feel like it gets taken away? Do you know what I'm saying? Can you guys resonate with that? Or it's, okay, I'm going down this path, and you're like, okay, I'm doing this, and the path makes sense. And then all of a sudden it's like, like even just last night, I was sitting with my journal, and I was like, okay, all these experiences that led me to this place, right? And even though it didn't make sense at the time, makes sense later, right? And I think I'm at that place in my space in my life where it's like, things are not making sense again. Help me understand this. And so I've been praying each night about, okay, just show me the next step. Show me the next, help me understand what this looks like. Because I think for folks that it felt like your dream.
Yeah, yes.
And then it's okay, if it was meant to be your dream, then why is it still not your dream? You know what I'm saying? And I think some of you can relate to this.
It's only temporarily the dream to get you to the next place.
Yeah.
You're really not capable. I think it's only the dream until you can see the next phase of it, right?
Yeah.
It's like you couldn't have seen this part of it until you had to go through the working towards it, and then the kind of mourning the idea of it, and then realizing something else is there. It's like I picture it like a hill. You think you're getting to the top, and you get there, and there's another hill there.
Yeah.
It's, I didn't see all of it because I was here, and when I got here, now I can see all of it. Now it makes sense, and now I realize I'm actually meant for something more different.
Yeah.
But that first hill was necessary to climb.
That's
Oh,
a good point.
500%. And
Yeah.
there's been a lot of personal growth work between then and now also. So much so that I am more comfortable today not knowing what it looks like.
Yeah.
So, but being able to look back and easy peasy to say, what did you learn? But there is an ounce of good
You're
in
never
everything,
given more than you
right?
can handle.
Yeah, and all that stuff, right?
The struggle
but I
is
look
worth
back
it.
and I go, okay, I had to fight really hard to get this lease signed. I had to fight really hard to find a contractor. Did it have to be that hard?
Yeah.
Was there something for me to learn in that moment that, quite honestly, I was coming from just such that
Was it-
push
did you
energy,
feel
like
like that
I'm
was-
gonna make this happen.
Yes.
I'm making this happen. That I kind of had blinders on. I don't know if I would have cut it off at any point, but maybe I could have done some things differently. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's not for me to know. But I
Right.
do know that to your point, at least now I have the awareness to be able to look back and even just evaluate, would I ever do a brick and mortar again? What else do I want it to look like? How am I best using my superpowers?
Yeah.
And then what other superpowers are out there? Resources, knowing I'm fully resourced to do whatever I want, even if I don't know if that is exactly what it is. And that's where that awareness comes in. And I will also, not to take this whole conversation, but just in the reading of the card, what stood out for me was the awareness, the reference to my spiritual self. And that doesn't mean I don't walk around with a Bible in my hand, but I will tell you that I know that my health and well-being includes physical, spiritual, emotional, and the mind, body, spirit aspect I have worked really hard on developing.
Yeah.
And through that awareness, knowing, as we were talking about, I am co-creating and I am not alone. And
Yeah.
that provides, that's that second level on the, what did you call it? On the thing with your trapeze?
Oh,
Your,
extra special.
yeah. But what was that thing called?
That was
The platform, thank you. That's the
extra-
second layer on the
layer of
platform. That's
yes.
what
Yeah.
grows me from, I'm also 5'2", grows me from 5'2" to 5'5", to just kind
Yes.
of look over the edge and know that
Yes.
I'm not in
Yeah.
it alone. And that is also awareness that I
Yeah.
would say, yeah, that is new and is at the table, which,
Yeah.
so that card, thank you.
Really resonated. I love it.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it. I love it. A lot of times I'll use those cards as just as validation. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, yes. If
Yeah.
I'm not getting the signal, if I'm not getting the download, if I'm not getting the awareness, if I'm not getting the message, or I'm not hearing it, or it's not loud enough. Lately, I've been asking for it to be just, if I'm not receiving, please make it so loud that it will not shut up. Like I
love that.
will not. Like
Love
I'm
that.
asking for louder signs.
Yeah.
Right before the 2x4 stage. Okay. Let's be real. The 2x4 hurts.
Yeah,
But I want to be able to
awareness,
hear
too,
it.
to ask the questions, though.
Yes.
That's new for me.
Yeah.
It's not just about asking for forgiveness. It's not just about asking,
Yeah.
oh, I made a mistake,
Yeah.
whatever. It's like, I can get guidance up front by
Yes.
asking questions.
Yes.
Though that's where the downloads come from, and the awareness, and
Yeah.
again, how it's all related. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm in the muck
Yeah.
with you too,
Right?
but I'm a more informed muck than
With
maybe
the
it was
yes,
4
yes.
years ago, which
Yeah.
I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as we all know, we're always growing, we're always evolving, and we're always being faced with the things that we need to be faced with in order to go through it. The going through process. I was talking to someone the other day, and she's, "You're going through it," and I'm like, "Yes, I am. I'm going through it." And I just trust in the process, and I trust in it'll be shown to me when I'm ready. But I'm really pushing back on the patience piece. I'm like, can we just speed this up? Can we just speed this
I'm
up?
right there with you.
Can we
Trusting
just
the
speed this up?
process is hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we
it's
just
hard.
get this? I'm like you. Like I'm like, let's just get some done. Let's just hello.
Everyone should listen to The Climb by Miley Cyrus.
The Climb, Myra
Yes.
says, is a song. Okay.
It's on my inspiration list.
The Climb.
The Climb. If you haven't listened to it, you need to
Every-
go for a walk.
I'm gonna do it because the last recommendation was so golden.
What did I send you last time?
Golden.
Oh, that's right. From K-pop Demon Hunters.
Hunters, so
That's
good.
right.
And I'm like,
It's a great
it's
song.
going up, and it just
Every
going.
song.
Yes. So it's like my new favorite song. And my daughter goes, "You're listening to what?" By Demon Hunters, and I'm like, I don't even know what that is. And she's, "Have you watched it?" I'm like, "No, I'm not going to because I want to hear the song."
It's also such a good movie.
Is it?
Me and my husband watched it, just the two
Are
of
you
us.
serious?
And we
Yes.
loved it.
Good
It
to
is
know.
a great
It was
movie
happy.
about it coming into yourself and
Okay.
figuring out who you are while you're trying to hide who you are in other ways, and how that creates damage to who you are. And
Yeah.
it's about a woman. It's a wonderful movie. It's so
Love
cute.
it. Okay, I
I
can
know.
imagine.
Soundtrack's fire.
a movie?
Yeah. Demon Hunters. Apparently.
K-pop Demon
It's
Hunters.
been in the top
very
10.
specifically.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like the Miley stuff. Oh, there's the Hannah Montana movie. You should watch that
Yes.
too.
Okay. Okay.
Great film.
Okay.
Good to know.
I love it. We're gonna take a quick little break, and then we'll be right back.
I'm Karen Zipa, founder of Complete Business Accounting. We're not your typical accounting firm. At Complete Business Accounting, we partner with you to make sense of your numbers so you can grow with confidence. From strategic bookkeeping to fractional CFO support, we provide the structure, insight, and clarity your business needs to thrive. You don't start a business to be worried about your finances. And with Complete Business Accounting, you won't have to be. Let's move your business forward. Visit cbaccounting.net to get started.
Anything else that's coming up for people?
I can come hang out.
Okay. So we're gonna come hang out. Yes.
Can you just hold it? Is that okay?
Yeah, you can hold,
Hold
it,
it?
if you want to hold
I didn't know
it.
you were pregnant when I told you my horrific parenting story.
Oh
okay.
gosh.
That's okay. That's kind of what I'm talking about right now. That's what I was meant to talk about.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
That worked.
I'm just gonna hold it. I'm just so convicted of peace right now. Just in general, I seriously have never been so peaceful in my entire life. I've been very blessed with everything. And for some reason, I think it's just the gift of being a woman and being able to grow a child. It's just made things make sense. My life makes sense in a lot of ways. And I'm just very grateful. And no one can say anything that really rocks me right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are crazy things.
Yeah.
But no, everything, life just really, I look back at things that have happened. It's, why did I struggle through that? Why did I push and push and push? Like college, I'm like, why did I stress so much about 4 years and work so hard? And now I do things that I didn't go to college for, which is fine. But I'm amongst many. And I'm very grateful for it. So I think that's my biggest thing is, I said everything happens for a reason, and it's just trusting and the fact that everything happens for a reason. And I hope that I know for a fact that I'm not always going to feel this way.
Yeah.
Which is not a negative thing to be like, you're not always going to feel this way, but being grateful for feeling this way right now so that in the future, looking back, being like, it's all going to be okay.
It's gonna be okay, yeah. And it creates evidence, right? I'm a big believer in creating evidence. And then if you have not started an evidence journal, I do recommend everyone starting an evidence journal and keeping those in. So when you're in a funk, you can go back into your evidence and be like, oh yes, I remember this experience, or the outcome came out better than I ever planned or imagined, kinds of things.
It's funny because that's the one thing not the one thing, obviously I've taken a lot from today. You mentioned journaling. I'm like, I really should be journaling right now. I haven't been journaling, and I really should be journaling right now to remember this.
And it's interesting because I don't typically journal on a regular. Last night I was journaling, and so I went onto my walk, and there was what's the little tiny purple flowers? Lilacs. Lilacs. I took off a little lilac bush when I was walking, and I was just smelling it because it was like such a fond memory of growing up, because I had this big lilac bush in front of my window, and it just took me back. And smell is one of the fastest ways to take you back your memories. And so as I was walking, I was just smelling this lilac bush, and it just took me back to that place of peace and that place of calm as a kid, of being just carefree and just really tapping into that. And I'm sure people are going like, what is she doing? But it just took me back, and it grounded me, and it anchored me back into those moments where it was like I had certainty. I knew I could trust. I could have that sense of patience and clarity. But to your point, yes, being in that place of gratitude, because as much as we can possibly do, being in the place of gratitude is the highest frequency, one of the highest frequencies that we can be in. Even when you're going through it.
I think the other thing is I don't want to grasp onto this piece, not in a desperate way, but in this is the phase I'm being gifted right now.
Yeah.
So that when it's over, it's okay.
Yeah.
But this is a gift. This whole experience has been a gift. I'm so blessed. Anyway, that's just all been a blessing.
I was telling you, like when I was pregnant, it was easy. I loved being pregnant. I loved the whole process, like the whole thing. And even the funny cravings, because I was craving things that I had when I was a child, which was really weird. But I just loved everything about it. I loved the whole process. So I always told my husband, I totally could surrogate because I loved the process so much. But I was like, but I would get attached. I know I would get attached. And we're talking about attachments, right? Yeah. But I was like, but it's a beautiful place to be in. And to your point, we go through phases and stages in our life where we are being asked to level up. We're being asked to be in a place of growth and peace and love, and I don't know. It's this beautiful cycle that we're in, and just honoring where we're all at, right?
For sure. I loved what you said when I came a few months ago. Teri was one of the first people I told I was pregnant, just because we were here, and she's a hard person to keep things from. I was newly pregnant. I'm like, I'm pregnant. I just told the baby, and I had a conversation. This is how it's going to be. I say it all the time. Yeah. And I think the reason that I've had such a wonderful pregnancy is because Alexa always talks about how much she loved being pregnant. And I think just hearing her say that has made me be like, I'm going to love being pregnant. And I truly do. And I always joke about, because you said y'all were going to giggle. I was like, my baby's going to be less than 8 pounds. My husband and I are going to giggle the entire pregnancy, and it's going to be just fun. It's going to be wonderful.
setting those intentions. I always told them, I told her that my pregnancy, I said, we're going to have a 3-hour delivery. And then everyone thought we were crazy insane, but we ended up having a 2.5-hour delivery. And so I told her, I said, when people tell you your birthing stories, if they did not have a positive experience, you don't have to listen to it. And
I, for some reason, don't hear it.
yeah.
Even if they're telling me, you just don't hear it.
So one of the things that happens when we're in a higher frequency and we're in a place of peace and love and gratitude is a higher frequency. So we actually don't even invite in those other experiences. Doesn't mean that they're gone. Just means that, again, it's like tuning into our radio, the frequency of our radio. Where are we tuning into our frequency, right? And I think it's a great reminder, especially when we're going through the muck and we're going through like the time that we were talking about, like the uncertainty. It's okay. Honoring and recognizing where we're at, and then saying, okay, I'm going to choose a different frequency. I'm going to choose to tune into something else, right? And so today, I am just so grateful that all of y'all came, because this was such a gift to me to be here. So, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add? A little tip or takeaway that when people are going through it, what's a big piece for you that has been helpful for you when you're going through times of transition?
It's so crazy because I think it's just, and we've said it, trust, and mind over matter. I know it's all going to work out.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, how it's going to all work out, but I know it's going to work out. So this has made me and it's kind of transitioned to everything else in life. It really has, with just trusting everything.
Oh my goodness. You never know how the conversation is going to go. But what I do know is that entrepreneurs right now are going through what feels like a very unsettling time. And yet, I know in our heart of hearts that we are going through this for something much greater than ourselves. And it's going to be better than we could ever imagined. And here's the thing, every single one of us can tap into this, the remembrance of what our soul's purpose is here to do on this planet. This time is calling for a new normal, one that is way more expansive than we could have ever imagined. And it's calling in for a place and space for us to create patience to be fostered. I get it, I know, patience. And it's absolutely okay to feel the entire range of emotions, to ask questions so that we now have a choice to keep struggling through it or to surrender and allow. Even for me, who enjoys change normally, this has a different feel to it. And it's expanding us beyond what we've ever known. This requires us to have trust in the process as it unfolds to reveal itself to us. After all, things are not meant to stay the same forever. They are designed to grow and evolve as we do. So we are learning to let go before we think we're ready. And just like Gabby said, how do we find peace within the process? Here's what I'm doing in my messy middle, and I'm going to invite you to do the same. I am taking more time for myself, introspection, reflection, exploration, to really dig deeper into what I'm here to do, what the next step is for me, knowing and not knowing that it's all going to show itself in time. Now, patience is required, not my strong suit. But I'm also writing more, channeling more, allowing myself to be in a place of surrendering, a place of stillness, and just simply being. My friends, I invite you to be in that place and space that you can receive the information that's coming to you. It's requiring us to take patience, trust in the process, and you are going to be okay. And at the end of the day, we are going to get through this. I promise you that. I want to end on this special little message. It's called New Cycle. Change me, divine beloved, into one who knows that the perfect unfolding is always occurring, even in times of visible transition. Let me trust that all the unseen growth will be known at the right time. Let me have faith in your plan. May I welcome this new cycle as it slowly births. Let me bless its unfolding. May I feel worthy to receive the highest and know my own value. May I be an uplifting force for all the good of all. May I be an uplifting force for the good of all. And that comes from Tasha Silver from the Change Me Prayers. If you live in or are traveling to Colorado, please reach out so that you can get a seat right here in the live studio action. Thank you for being a part of the Entrepreneurial Girlfriend Hour. And as always, be bold, be brave, be fearless, be the magic of you. Massive love, and we'll see you on the next episode.